What's up? Welcome back to the Metalhead Car Show. So in a recent interview, Steve Harris talked about a lot of the future of Iron Maiden, where the band is for future touring, a new album, and, well, the end of Iron Maiden. I know a lot of you who watch me also watch the Mighty Metal Pilgrim, so I know he's done this video. So we're going to be doing it a little bit differently. We're going to go over kind of what Steve had to say and what we think is going to be happening in the future, based on the information we have. So let's get right into it. So those who follow me know, I already have done a 2025 speculation video on what I assumed would be happening next year. But now we have more information now, we have a better grasp on what's going to be happening. So we're redoing this video and just kind of talking about where Iron Maiden is right now. Let's start with Steve Harris's interview. One of the things he was asked was kind of the update or the status on a new Iron Maiden studio album. And what he said was, everyone has ideas for a new Iron Maiden studio album. Everyone is up for doing a new Iron Maiden studio album. The only issue right now is Bruce has been doing a lot of touring on a solo band, so the band hasn't really got the chance to get together and start actually writing new songs. Most of these songs will be written by Steve Harris, but if this isn't the Steve Harris band, this is Iron Maiden. So, we will be getting a new album, but we've also heard from Bruce more than once that we are not getting a new studio Iron Maiden album in 2025, so this is most likely to be a 2026 or possibly even 2027 thing, but we'll get into that later. One of the next things they talked about was 2025, which is actually going to be the 50th anniversary of Iron Maiden. And the big question everyone's had for Maiden is there going to be a 50th anniversary tour, or is there any special plans happening for the 50th? Now, I recently got to see an interview with Bruce Dickinson, and he was very tight-lipped about it. Almost completely ignored the fact that he was even asked about the 50th anniversary. Steve Harris, though, was a little bit different. When asked if Iron Maiden had any plans for the 50th anniversary, he said, "There is plans, something will be happening, but that's all I can say." So based on that, we do know Iron Maiden will be on the road touring for the 50th anniversary, but also adding to that, Bruce has said in the past, he said this in an Australian interview back in 2023, that Iron Maiden does have plans going up all the way to the end of 2026. So that's showing a little hint into the touring future of Iron Maiden. And the next one was, does Iron Maiden have any plans of wrapping it up? Something we've talked about, something that goes across your uncle's Facebook page once a year of Dave Murray saying he wants to retire from Iron Maiden, despite he said it like the 1990s. So, where is Iron Maiden on that? And Steve Harris kind of said what Steve Harris always says. They know it's coming. They know it's going to happen someday, but none of them want to think about it. None of them talk about it. And despite they have talked about a new album, despite they've talked about future touring, they have not talked about or made any plans to end Iron Maiden, which means their touring days and their music making days are nowhere nearly done. Which for a band that's all in their mid-60s to early 70s, that's a very happy thing to hear. So, what do I think is going to be happening? Well, going to 2025, I believe what we're going to be seeing is the 50th anniversary of Iron Maiden tour. It's going to have a much better name than that, but at its core, that's what it's going to be. Seeing as though this year, 2024, Iron Maiden's going to be restarting the Future Past tour in Australia, Japan, North America, and South America. And they're not doing anything in Europe this year because they played only Europe last year. Well, Europe and a couple Canadian dates and Power Trip. It's most likely that Iron Maiden will be starting in Europe, likely in the late spring, early summer, to kick off this next tour. If this were to be a one-year, 2025 only tour, I would say go look at the Book of Souls 2016 touring schedule, and that's probably what we're going to be getting. But seeing as though this tour seems to be planned into the end of 2026, I think next year is going to be either only or primarily just European dates. And then 2026, we'll see North America, we'll see South America, and we'll most likely be seeing a handful of dates they didn't get to play, maybe even some makeup shows from the 2020 Legacy of the Beast tour, which had a very extensive and very cool touring schedule, playing a lot of countries they don't get to play very often, but due to everything in 2020, that got canceled. So maybe we'll see that happen again, maybe we won't. who knows? Seeing as though the band feels like 2025 and 2026 are going to be very special years, especially 2026 according to Bruce, I think we might be getting some sort of extensive tour, much like what we're supposed to get in 2020. What do I think they're going to play? Well, we're not doing that this video. Here's the thing. If Iron Maiden is going to be doing a 50th anniversary tour next year, it is most likely at the very end of the Future Past tour, they're going to announce the next tour. That's how it usually works. It's usually November or really early December. They announce the next tour or their plans for the following year. So based on that knowledge, and I need to go create content for you to watch, we'll be doing a setlist video later in the year, probably very late November, very early December, and we'll get into that then. What I can say is they have teased the fact that there are songs they still want to play. Now, what are those songs? Well, they tend to be fairly tight-lipped about that. Bruce has said in the past that he really had a craving to go play The Prisoner and Stranger in a Strange Land. And funny enough, both those made it into the Future Past tour. So for this next tour, it's hard to say exactly what they're going to play, but what we can guess is some songs from presumably the older albums and maybe even some of the post-reunion albums that they haven't got to play in a little while. If we were to go look at the Peace of Mind album, the first album that had everyone except Yannick in it, but the first album that had everyone in the band, they've played a fair bit of that album since the band all got back together. Since then, they've played Where Eagles Dare, The Trooper, Flight of Icarus, Die With Their Boots On, Revelations, and that's pretty much it. But the one song I think is glaringly missing that I've always said should have been in the first Legacy of the Beast set list is To Tame a Land. Along with To Tame a Land, there's a lot of people who are still furious that Iron Maiden did not play Infinite Dreams in the 2012 Made in England tour. For those who don't know, Iron Maiden used to have a series on YouTube called IMTV. IMTV would follow the band around on tour, talk to fans, show behind the scenes stuff, all that. And there was one video from the Made in England tour in 2012 that they showed the set list from the light board, and it showed underneath the encore, which the encore for that tour was Aces High, Evil That Men Do, Running Free. There's 2 extra songs being Held By Name and Infinite Dreams, which means the plan was to always play it, it just never happened. So maybe next year will be the tour it actually comes out. And the other one I'd need to mention is Rime of the Ancient Mariner. Back during COVID, Bruce did a video showing off the Iron Maiden pinball machine. And he's going through a lot of the songs in the pinball machine. One of the ones he got to was Rime of the Ancient Mariner, saying, "We're not playing it this tour, but we know you want to hear it." Now, Bruce being Bruce, he could be teasing us and they never play the song ever again. But if the band knows we want to hear it, and when they were playing it live last time, they openly said it's one of their favorite songs they're doing on the tour, there's a chance this song will eventually come back. And what would this stage look like? Well, that's kind of a tricky one, because the Iron Maiden stage setup, or the shape of the stage, hasn't really changed since 1995. It's primarily been the exact same since the X Factor tour. I think they've added in some platforms up top so Bruce can go run around. I don't know if those platforms existed during the X Factor tour and the Virtual 11 tour, but the overall shape was the same. So I think there's been no changes there. The overall shape of the stage will remain the exact same. Aesthetically though, I kind of hope it's like the 2003 Give Me Ed Till I'm Dead tour. So being at 50 years, I think it'd be really cool to do that once again, showing off every single Eddie on stage in one form or another to show off the years of Iron Maiden. We're gonna wrap this video up here, but I want to know, what do you think? Given all the information we have from the guys in Iron Maiden, what do you think will be happening next year or the next 2 years for Iron Maiden? Let me know in the comments. Thank you all so much for watching. Like, subscribe, if you enjoyed what you've seen. I tend to post on Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday, and I'll see you later.